We've scouted caves, solved star-crossed love affairs, swam across ponds, and slain more kobolds than we can count, and yet our adventures have only just begun. And between the action of these quests, we've always found our way back to Goldshire. The big tavern, the Lion's Pride, has food and drink. The smithy offers repairs and basic armaments. And dotted around is the local graveyard, the cosy little fishing pier, and the creepy demon children. But they're not related to the next chapter of our story. Our class trainer, Brother Wilhelm, is, because he has news. Word of our exploits has reached to the church, who we serve faithfully, and our name has even reached the ears of a man named Dithorian Rawle, a high-ranking paladin in Stormwind Cathedral. Word has it he's planning some kind of test for us, so let's show some initiative and find out more from the man himself. Stormwind's Cathedral is where the paladins are officed, including Dithorian, and it's right at the far end of the city, so let's get a move on, up this road. Dithorian is the man on the left, so let's go speak with him, for the first of many times. Our future mentor has a task for us, or more so, a test. The stereotypical role of a paladin is to fight undead or to be abrasively self-righteous, but the day-to-day work is much more humble. He gives us a book to read, the Tome of Divinity. It reads the following: "In all things, a paladin must reflect the light which supplements our strength. To strive to be divine for one of our kind does not mean we strive for godhood, we strive to be good in all actions. Although called upon to smite evil in these harsh times, you must always remember that it's aiding others that will truly set you apart from the citizens of Azeroth. Compassion, patience, bravery, these things mean as much to a paladin as strength in battle. Know this well and never forget it."
Greetings.
In the spirit of this lesson, our task is to perform the most basic and important function of Stormwind's clergy, to help people. So let's find someone who needs help and help them. With the tragic loss of the Northern Kingdoms and the current exhaustive war with the Horde, Stormwind is crowded with refugees, orphans, orphaned refugees, and the otherwise destitute and desperate. And the city's cogs only continue to turn thanks to the charity of people like Stephanie Turner.
Hey there.
She works at the orphanage in Cathedral Square, but due to rising prices, likely caused by fellow adventurers, she is struggling to clothe the orphans. Finding enough linen cloth to make clothes has been difficult for Stephanie, and this is a problem we can alleviate. Bit of trivia, her husband provides the same charity across the tram line in Ironforge, and serves in the dwarven counterpart to this quest line. Okay, we need 10 linen cloth to make some clothes, and so it stands to reason that a reliable way to get it is from other clothes. And what I mean by that is that cloth drops from humanoid enemies. Thankfully for us, Elwyn Forest is teeming with humanoid threats, like kobolds and bandits. And so in an uncomfortable form of recycling, we can strip strips of clothing off of these dead bodies, hopefully wash them, and then hand them to Mrs. Turner, who will then reconstruct them back into clothes for the younger generations. As we hand her the linen,
Safe travels.
hopefully without disclosing our source, she remarks that a change is in the air. Other characters in vanilla will also make this premonition sometimes, but nah, I'll believe it when I see it. She thanks us, and now it's time for us to go report our good deed back to Dithorian
Safe
Rawle.
travels.
Stormwind is often strangely sleepy, despite being one of the most populated settlements in Azeroth, if not the most. It was created during an era of technology powerful enough to display beautiful 3D cities, but perhaps not quite enough to populate them properly.
Have you heard any word about the other provinces?
Of course, modern games have long since overcame this problem. But of course, the playable characters are supposed to be the pedestrians, not the non-player ones. And us players do our fair share of walking about, but often during one-time visits to a handful of very specific places. There are a couple of corners set aside for quests, and there's the odd sequestered trainer, but for the sake of efficiency, the city's important services are heavily loaded towards its front in the trade quarter, leaving the rest of the city's streets very often empty. I think massively multiplayer cities should feel like circulatory systems, their hearts pumping blood instead of clotting it in one place. How would you solve this problem? Gondolas? Leave your ideas in the comments below. Anyway, back to the adventure. Reporting our good deed to the Thorian gets us an item, a symbol of life. A magic bauble that's supposed to trial our more divine abilities. Our mentor's friend, a dwarf named Gazin, has just arrived from Stone Cairn Lake in eastern Elwyn with his comrade Henza.
Watch your back.
There they encountered the Defias Brotherhood. They were both at Hero's Vigil, the island in the lake's centre, performing reconnaissance, when they noticed one of their wizards carrying important documents. In an attempt to secure the documents, the duo were overwhelmed, and Henza barely covered Gazin's escape. Gazin, despite being heavily wounded, is now safe in the hands of the cathedral's priests, but Henza didn't make it. This is where the symbol of life comes in. There's no time to lose. Let's get over there. So, here it is, Hero's Vigil. There are no stone cairns around. This isn't a cairn. A cairn is a collection of smaller rocks, not one big one. But there is a lake, and in its centre is the Defias Brotherhood, and the dwarf Henza. On top of the island's miniature hills is Henza's dead body. A martyr for the Alliance, his death is an injustice. And as a paladin, it's our job to undo injustice, so let's go help him. Using the symbol of life, we can channel our holy powers into Henza and bring his soul back where it belongs, in his body. When resurrected, Henza is very understandably very grateful and recounts to us his side of the story. He after remarks on our talent. Not just anyone can do what we just did. And this makes me think, what if this didn't work? Was Dithorian throwing both of us into the deep end? Or does he really believe in us that much? Our test is complete, but there's a loose end. The papers Henza died for. Let's go kill some pesky wizards and get those papers. And here it is. Okay, let's head back. Henza said he'll make his own way to Stormwind, so it looks like we're flying solo again. By the way, this supposed cairn actually has a legible inscription. It's called the Stone of Remembrance, and it reads the following. This monument is dedicated to all those who have fallen in the protection of Stormwind. Our people have weathered unbelievable hardships to retain their freedoms and to control their own destinies. It is here we remember every sacrifice our citizens have made since the first war that riddled our people. The first war, the events of the Orc campaign during the first Warcraft game, were beyond catastrophic for the humans of Stormwind. This place, though infrequently visited, is sacred. The Defias occupation of the area is a great insult, and perhaps even symbolically deliberate. But let's get a move on.
Safe travels.
Oh right, yeah, I almost forgot. We've got that note from the Defias, don't we? The plan is set in motion. Reinforcements due from Westfall. Area all but forgotten. Perfect staging point for our attacks. The Defias will take back Stormwind. Probably nothing to worry about. Back at what is slowly becoming our home, we hand Gazin the Defias script.
What can I do for you?
Who in turn will hand it to the King's advisors. And then we return to Dithorian Roll. Our deeds have proven that we're both ready and able to perform one of the Paladin's most important abilities, redemption. Quest complete. If there was any doubt that we weren't a proper adventurer or Paladin, it's gone now. The class identity has been formed. It's time to get back out there. The world needs us. It's time to go over the hills and far away, to help the fallen and save the day. This video is loosely a sequel to this video, since playing through the entire game in this style was perhaps a bit too ambitious, and loosely a prequel to this video, the first one I ever made. Thanks for watching. And a special thank you to YouTube members Morian, Nightseeker, Patrick Manhora, Lewis H, Lurend, Cherish, Miffy, Hydroxyl, Edward Russellduck, Darkow, O'Barrel Dorado, AC, Evelyn, Sad Scarecrow, Marked as Red, Jerry Freeman, Daniel Owens, Guat Defuck, Gaming Piper, Surfrock, James Goldtrap, Ruslan K, Emma to the Max, AIDS Mort. Thanks guys.